talk about the fallen team from heaven. Hopefully one day we'll get back. Williams. One of my secret favorite teams, not so secret, I say all the time, like I really would like to see Williams get back to being a highly competitive team from once to which they came initially. I think people maybe coming just into the sport don't realize how successful Williams were at a point of time in Formula One history. What do you think their improvements are attributed to this season? Because to me it seems like Williams is in a good spot to probably become a midfield team, like legitimately a midfield team is what I'm thinking like through the season. I think that's exciting. I know people are wrapped up in Mercedes and Max and certain, but it is exciting for me to see a team like Williams make a jump and then maybe legitimately become a midfield competitor. How do you feel, and what do you feel that's attributed to?
I think they definitely will be a midfield competitor. So part of this is due to the focus on the team and what the team specifically is trying to do with the developments that they're bringing. I mean, they had huge updates and over the winter that made them more competitive. But this is a single instance of a larger trend, which is convergence that I mentioned previously. Not only just in terms of converging on a specific design philosophy, but just the teams getting closer together. Yes, it's true that Red Bull is, getting further and further apart, seemingly unaffected by some of the attempts to close the grid. We'll talk about reasons why that might change in the future. Okay. But the entire rest of the midfield is kind of condensed now. There was definitely a time in the past couple of seasons where there was a top end, front-running teams, a clearly defined midfield, and then clearly defined back markers that were off the tail of the midfield, that weren't even really competing in the midfield. True. That's not really the case anymore. Williams, Haas, McLaren, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, they're separated by less now than they ever have been, which means that individual races, individual driver performances, or unlucky accidents like Lando Norris had running over Oscar Piastri's front end plate. Right. Both McLarens were affected by the same incident, and they had to pit as a result of it. But I think that the entire midfield is condensed significantly this season, and so yes, Williams has made progress. In fact, they've probably made the most progress of all the midfield teams. But behind Aston Martin, Williams is the team that improved the second most.
Right, and I agree with that
by my estimation. So I definitely think that they're in a position where they could be competitive. I mean, look, I'm not going to slate Nicholas Latifi more than I have to. But suffice it to say, there's no limit to how much time a bad driver can cost you.
Man, that's
right.
For real.
And the thing is, you can't know for sure how much time you're losing until you have a more competitive driver there. I think, for his credit, Logan Sargent has been very competitive in the past couple of races. I mean, a bit of luck, a bit of misfortune in qualifying in Jeddah that kind of made his life more difficult than it needed to be. But it was a mistake.
It was a mistake, right.
It was a mistake. He made a mistake. But, Esteban Ocon made mistakes too, and his car just didn't break.
Right.
And that's where the luck comes in. But no, I think that the driver pairing that they have definitely has the potential to be very good. And as I said, the entire midfield is condensed now to a degree that it hasn't been before. So individual performances from drivers, individual races, one key strategy difference is going to make all the difference in the world.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wolfpack Performance. Don't forget to check out some of my other content on Formula One and motorsports topics. Like, share, subscribe, and we go live on the weekends. See you soon.